All right, so here we are in my house. This is where I do a lot of editing and stuff, and it's a little, it's like a little corner of the house. And I have a lot of people that have asked me, like, how do you come up with the flyers for the sermons? Because I'll find a picture and I'll put the sermon title, and then I send it out. I put it on YouTube, Facebook. I text it to people, and I've had quite a few people say, "Man, how do you come up with that stuff? How do you do it and whatnot?" So I just thought, you know what? I'll just hit record and show you my process of what I do. Way years before, even before I was incarcerated, I was a graphic artist. So a lot of the album covers, posters, things like that, maybe 80%, maybe even more, 90% of the graphics that you saw on the old Darkroom albums was me. So I learned Photoshop very early on. Because they're sermons, I usually find something on Google. I would never use something on Google for a book cover or a CD cover or anything like that, because you want original stuff. Because you don't ever want to get copyrights, or you don't want to use somebody else's graphic or somebody else's photo for your own personal, book or poster or whatever, something that you're going to sell. But because it's a sermon, and the sermons are free, I don't see an issue with getting something off of Google. Once in a while, I'll change the color, I'll change something, I'll add some filters to it to make it a little different than the original. But that's where I start, So I kind of have an idea what I'm going to preach about. I've been thinking about it actually for 2 weeks now, but I haven't settled with a title yet. But I kind of know what I want to talk about, and this is how I usually do it, guys. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to Google search and look for a couple pictures that I think are interesting. So. I kind of want to talk about something I heard a few weeks ago about the fact that none of us can escape. It sounds kind of morbid, but it's just real. Our death. It's something we will all go through. See, not all of us will be rich. Not all of us will have a new car, a new house. Not all of us will be know the experiences of a soldier or a surgeon or a homeless person. There are many millions of people in this life that will not experience the same things through this life. But there is one thing that all of us will experience regardless, and that is passing from this world to the next. And so my first thing is I want to find something that reflects that. Like I said, I'm just winging this. I don't have this plan. This is the way I do it every single week when I think of a flyer for the sermon. Let's see. I'm putting escaping death. Let's see what comes up here. No, nothing that interests me here. I'm just going through Google Pictures, see if something jumps out at me. It sounds morbid, like I said, but House of Rest, we don't shy away from the stuff other places don't want to talk about. I think that as a church, every church should preach what the Spirit of God is trying to say without hindering the Spirit of God. Does the Spirit of God encourage? Yes. Does the Spirit of God uplift? Yes. But the Spirit of God also speaks truth, and we can't shy away from it. So let's see. Nothing here. I'm trying to think of something that reflects what the sermon title's about, a photo that draws the person in, that impacts them, you know. Let's see. Let me see. Right now I typed in escaping death through Christ. Let's see what pops up. You never know. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. It's a picture of a cross. Let me see if I can get it closer for you guys. Hold on. It's a little better. It's like this dark forest with no leaves in this green area, and there's a bridge made out of a cross. I'm gonna save that, so I right click, save image as. I'm gonna save it to my desktop. That might be a keeper. That kind of resonates with me. Let's see if there's anything else here. You know what, the more I think about it, the more I like that. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with that. Let's see how that works. So now here I'm in Photoshop, and I put new file. Every new, I always do the 16 by 9 graphic, because that's the size of a, oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's go back. 16 by 9 is the size of a wide a TV. So I'm going to bring in this graphic. I'm going to open it up. Let me find it. I got a lot of stuff in this desktop here. Where's it at? There it is. Okay, I'm going to check the image size. Bump it up to 300. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna drop it into my, see how small it is. So most likely it's gonna be very pixelated, and I'll show you how I fix that. So let me make it fit the frame I have here. And it doesn't fit exact, so I'm gonna kind of stretch it so it fits exactly the size I want. There it is. That's pretty good. I like this. In case it's pixelated, I'm going to add a filter, a stylized filter, and make it look like an oil painting. So by making it look like an oil painting, it takes the pixelation and kind of warps it to look like paint. There, you probably can't tell, but it transformed it to look like a painting, so you can actually see brush strokes and whatnot. I already like that. I like the way that looks. So I'm going to type in the sermon title. I'll change the font, but let's see, what do I want to call this? I'm going to call it We Can't. Maybe, let's see. I'll call it We Can't Escape. And let me change the font of the title, something more eye-catching. Oh, that looks good. Just got to be bigger. So let's make that bigger. Right now it's 36. Let's bump it up to 72. That looks good. Let's see. What if I bump that down to the bottom underneath it? separate those because they're too close. And actually make We Can't Escape a little bigger. Right now it's a 72. Let's bump it up to 100. Let's see how that looks. That's interesting. I want to separate them more because they're too close still. So I'm separated by 100. There it goes. Bam. See? Not bad. And then obviously we're going to put the time. Service is at 10 a.m. And those we need to bring closer. Maybe a 36 and bump this up to 36. And we'll make it bold. Okay. Now where do I want to put this? Probably right there, because if I put it on that side, it'll be too bright. So I center it. That way it's all centered. And finally, I'm going to put House of Rest. And then I'll put the address. And I'll put that along the whole bottom. And that's it. I get a graphic from Google, put some filters on it, fix it up, add the information, the sermon title, the time, and the address. And that's pretty much it. I flatten it now, so it flattens all the layers. And then I'll save that. I'll title it whatever the sermon's called. And then I'll save it without that information. That way on service morning, it doesn't show the information because obviously they're already there. So they don't need the address or the time. Oops. And I'll leave the title up. So then I'll save it like this. That way when you walk into church, this is up on the screen. Flatten that. I'll make it smaller. Oh, actually, no, I won't make it smaller. I'll leave it that size. I leave it the same name, but I put OBS. That way our media guys know that this is the OBS file for that, so that we can put it up in the PowerPoint. And then that's pretty much it. I also like to save a smaller layer. So I put all the information back, I flatten it. Now I shrink it down because sometimes thumbnails, this file is way too big for it. So I knock it down. Image size. I know this is might be too technical for some of you guys, but some of you it might be interesting. Okay, let me save that. And I'll save that as I'll take the OBS off, so it'll be called Sermon We Can't Escape, and I'll put small. That way the media guys know that's the small file. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how I come up with the flyers for the sermon. You know, and some of you have asked, and like I said, I like doing this channel so I can do stuff like this and kind of show you what it is that I do. And this is where I do it at. This is also the computer where I'm going to do all video editing. When I do a lot of the videos, like the interviews, and you see the different clips that jump in and jump out, the documentary I'm doing for Sharon's brother, all that stuff, guys. So this is my house. This is a lot of sermons get written here. A lot of my stuff gets done here. So, anyways, guys, God bless you. Thank you so much, and hopefully you enjoyed that, learned something from it. Kind of just little background stuff that you don't get to see. All right.